Hey y'all, so lots going on as we are only days away from our very last frost. I'm so grateful that I get to talk to other gardeners because you know that feeling whenever you have been anticipating this thing. We have been planning since winter, some of us since last spring. And so it's like such a joyous occasion, right? And for us, we actually don't have a frost in the forecast. And so it is time to plant. It is time to plant. So I want to give you an update on lots of things. I want to show you how I've prepped the squash that's inside of the greenhouse. I also want to show you how much the squash has grown. It did germinate very quickly. I'm so excited about that. So this video is going to be filled with all of the gardening things. I'm talking about rabbit poop and compost and cleaning out garden beds. Yes, I am going to be removing all of these crops and then coming in and preparing these beds for planting, y'all. My name is Taquisha. This is Our Freedom Song, and I am so happy you're here. So first, let me bring you into the greenhouse and show you this squash. I came out the other night and I was just in here and I put them in some bigger pots, and I took that aluminum foil, y'all, and wrapped the base of each of these squash plants because you know we are going to be prepared for the vine borer this year. We are not playing any games with the squash, right? And so we got this done, and I am so excited and prepared to plant these. We also have some cucumbers as well as another batch of squash that have popped up. They look beautiful. I'm so excited about planting all of these different varieties. Like, so excited. I just think that the garden is going to be so fun this spring with all the different varieties. Even the ornamentals like this bean right here. I'm just super stoked. And then y'all, look at these beauties. These are the ones that we snipped the seed and they popped up within a few days. I'm so excited about planting all of these, and the time is now. They are so small that I can't specifically wrap the bottoms, but this tray right here, I could probably get some aluminum foil down at the bottom, but I'm kind of just waiting. Look at this bean. That is that beautiful bean that I showed you guys called the large speckled pole bean. Plus all of the things that I have left to plant. I'm thinking that I'm going to make a video just me planting out the whole garden. This one is going to be all about the prep. We are going to be harvesting what we can harvest. The rest of it is going to be going to the chickens. It is such a great day. Because it's time to amend the bed, amend the soil, get it ready, I'm going to be pulling everything out except for the Brussels sprouts. With all of these warm days, the aphids have definitely shown up, which reminds me why I do not like growing brassicas in warm weather. I am taking out the entire root ball on these brassicas because if you leave the stems in, they just like to grow back. So I do see some aphids on the Brussels. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray that down with some neem oil. This one actually feels like it's about to go to seed. It's just getting so open up here at the top, but I'll just leave it. This is looking so beautiful. I'm so excited. So we are going to be harvesting these greens and making something delicious. Beautiful leaves, no pest pressure, no aphids, y'all. So excited. I did shave this down quite a bit to leave all of that organic matter in this bed, which will help it prepare for the next crop. I probably need to take some of this off and throw it back in that bed. This Brussels sprout right here is so beautiful, but for whatever reason the Brussels are not growing on it, and so what I think I'm gonna do is just harvest all of the leaves so I at least can have the leaves to cook. But I actually can't leave this one here because I have plans for this spot, which is right on our trellis, so this would not be a good place to leave our Brussels. Since these are so good for eating and they don't have any pest damage, I'm so excited about it. This will be my first time eating Brussels sprout leaves, but I absolutely love Brussels sprouts, and so I imagine that it's similar. I'd love to know if you've ever tried Brussels sprout leaves. These are so beautiful that I just absolutely cannot wait to eat them. No pest pressure. And for those of you who are new here, we actually do organic gardening, so I don't spray anything on our food. And if there's pest pressure like worms, like I said before, I covered this last fall to try to avoid that. And then if there is, like previous years, we've come out here and just squished the worms. But the row covers are so much better because then you don't even have to worry about that. Oh my goodness, this last harvest is giving me life. This is still definitely just a little baby, very late to the party, but nonetheless it's still edible. So I'm going to harvest them both. So this broccoli has created pods, so I'm going to make sure to actually keep this one so that I can let those dry out, and then we can have broccoli seeds. Y'all ready for a buffet? Rabbit poop. So what I'm gonna do is I just wet this bed, try to get it pretty wet, just very hydrated. I'm gonna take some of this rabbit poop and put it in the bed, kind of mix it in, and then I'm going to mulch the whole bed and then top dress it with some fertilizer, some slow release fertilizer. So gross. I have really felt like throughout the hottest times of the year that the file cabinet planters have really held on to moisture so well, which is one of the things that I love about them. It's so gross. Ugh. So I just have to take this moment to say that this is so gross to me. This is absolutely disgusting, and it smells horrid. And I don't say that to discourage you. I just want to say that to encourage you. If you don't like stuff like this, and I am doing it right now, that tells me that you can do it too. Like, we can do this. We can do all this. We can do the poop. We can do the bugs. We can. We can grow food. And if this is what I need to do to bring life to the soil, to grow food, then gag and all, I will do it. And so can you. We actually went to a local farm and scooped this rabbit poo the previous day. And they had a pile that was wet, but he called it fresh. And then they had some crispy pile. And I thought, oh, well, I'll get the fresh one. While I was scooping the fresh poop, I was like, what is even happening right now? Why am I digging in probably warm, soft rabbit poop? And so we did 2 buckets of the wet one, and then we did 3 buckets of the more dry, crispier, older one. I did feel the need to go ahead and use the fresh one fast, just because it just grossed me out so much. And I don't know how long it stays kind of like squishy like that. So what I did was, yesterday I came out and started with the beds in the orchard area. So here's the bucket that I use first. It has a billion little gnats all over it. Yeah, it's gross. This is the bed. I actually was thinking about it and I was like, I don't even know if I showed you guys this, but yes, we came into the orchard area and built these boxes. So excited about them. On the right side, we did boxes that are 3x3 because there's more space over here. And on the left side, we did boxes that were 2x3s because there's less space. But I just wanted to use all of that negative space, and I did want to build boxes so that the roots of the plants that I'm going to put inside of the boxes doesn't necessarily take from our trees. And this is a little bed that I made out of some edging that I found at our local Ace. I used it to make, I think this bed is a 3x10 or 11, and so much space. And since I'm back here, I might as well show you where I transplanted the elderberry, which is right here. So exciting. And also show you where I planted about 200 sunflowers. They are so small, you can't really see them, but they are up against this fence right here. As I'm taking you to the potato bed, I'm wondering, what is this? What is that? It looks like throw up. And I don't know what that came from. And I'm so confused and will need to investigate this. The only thing above it is trees. That's a mystery. I'm just so happy with this space. I'm looking forward to planting so many squash back here. So I did prep this bed the same way, and I am planning to plant echinacea and holy basil in it. I'm adding some perlite to all of our beds this year just to add some extra drainage. I just want things to be able to grow really well. I really want just that nice aerated soil, so that is why I'm adding this. And I'm also going to be adding vermiculite, which is going to hold in moisture to all of the beds, and then topping all of the beds then with our wood chips. So this is the slow release fertilizer that I'm also going to be adding to every bed. Although I do have that rabbit manure at the bottom of these beds, this fertilizer is going to be very slow releasing. So just to give it some added care right at the beginning of the growing season. And y'all, it is time to plant sweet potatoes. So my daughter and I came out and we also planted sweet potatoes. So I'm doing it a way that I've never done. Y'all know I normally rip off all these little slips and put them in water and let them root, but not this year. None of these got roots and it's time to plant. So I have a friend who told me that they actually just put their sweet potatoes in the ground. So I figured, hey, I have enough slips. I know I'm going to produce sweet potatoes, so I might as well experiment with just putting them into the ground as well. So I did that, watered it all in, got the wood chips on, and I'm so excited because we also had lots of sweet potatoes in the house that had these little eyes on them. So I'm also going to plant those. No matter what, we are going to have a ton of sweet potatoes, and we are going to be able to at the same time experiment to see if just planting a sweet potato works as well. Take a look at this beautiful harvest, y'all. My heart is so happy. My belly is growling. I cannot wait to taste these beauties. Oh, there is nothing like growing your own food and eating it. As always, thank you so much for joining me in the garden today. Until next time, friends.